Alright, please let me know if you can hear me. Drop in the comment section, let me know if you can hear me. Alright, you are welcome everyone. Let me know if I'm audible enough, please. Drop in the comment section if I'm audible, let me know. Alright, thank you. We will be we'll be exploring the tabs, and I will be explaining the tabs this night as regards to the Microsoft Word. What are their functionalities? What can we use them to achieve? And different stuff that this can help us to achieve. So here is the Microsoft Word interface like we have been seeing. Now I will be starting from the Home tab. Here we have we have paste. We have paste, and this is paste special. In Microsoft Excel, I will be showing us the relationship that we can use this paste special to achieve. Now, however, let's say I have this document here, and I copied this whole document from here, for example, and then I say Control C is to copy, and I come to this place, I want to paste. So once I want to paste it, I can come to paste special. Instead of pressing Ctrl V just to paste, I can make use of this function called paste special. So once I click on it, you will see this dialog box. This dialog box here is on paste, but there is another one called paste link. So I will select it and then come to this place and select Microsoft Word document object. That's the object I want to paste. Watch out, if I click on this, there is no link between these two documents. Remember, I copied something from a document in Microsoft Word, from a document I want to paste in another document. So if I say paste link, now you see there is now a link between the two documents. Now if I say okay, that document is being pasted. Now let's take, for example, I don't have access to this document, and here I think this is where I got it, and then I discovered that maybe this is not video. I discovered that this is not video, that this here is audio. Let me change it to audio and then save it. So let me change it to audio and save it. Let's say I save. Let me save it. I haven't saved this document before. That's why when I press Ctrl S, it brings me to save. Now once I save this, let's go to this document here. Now this document here is a link. However, let me save it as well, and then now what this does is this, that if I close this document now and reopen it again, and I will have this stuff that I change here, this one that I change here, because they are both linked. Is something that pasted as link. So this and this has a relationship. So that's another way that we can use this paste here. That's another way we can use that. So having explained that, let me let me delete this. And then we have, there is what we have here, this clipboard. This clipboard, once you click on it, you see the last actions you did, the last paste you did. If you want to clear it from the clipboard, you clear. If you want to bring it back, what I deleted, if I want to bring it back, I can click on it, it comes back again. So once you delete something from your word, is there on your clipboard in case you want to bring it back, or if you want to clear it, you can clear it from your clipboard. So that is what that we have that on the clipboard. Then moving to the next family, which we have here as font, under the group called font, this is called bold, this is bold, this is italicized, this is underlined. We have explained this in our previous video. This is subscript, this is superscript. All this, I think we have explained this in our first video. These ones we have explained. Let me move quickly to insert. This is where we will have to get some certain things to understand. Now under insert, if you are those writing a book, you want a cover, book cover, you can come here and get some samples of book cover, some templates that you can use for your book cover, and then off you go if you don't want to design from scratch. But me, most times I like to design from scratch. This is blank page. If you want to insert a blank page in between your work, like if you have read some ebooks, you will see that after there is one that is blank, you can use that. This is page break. This one is table. For you to insert table into the Microsoft Word, you can come here and select the columns and rows. If what you want to insert is more than 10 columns and then 8 rows, you can now come to this place and use insert table. So once you select this insert table, it will come, this dialog box will appear. You will now enter the number of rows, the number of columns you want, and the number of rows. Let's say we are preparing for annual reports, and we need let's say 13 rows. So I type here 13, and here maybe let's, for example, and then it's on auto. So it's on auto, so that it will fit it into it. So we say okay. So that is our table. This becomes our table. Here now I can come to this place, click here, you say S/N, that becomes where you have your row. Then you move to the next, you can put here Jen, move to the next, you put Feb. Once you press to move to the next column, you press your tab button on your keyboard. You press tab to move to the next column. So that is what you can do. And then here are what we have as table designs. So we can select this. Like yesterday, I think I was talking about how to design a calendar. If you haven't watched that, you can go ahead on the YouTube channel. Is there on the channel, and watch how we did use Microsoft Word to design a calendar. So here you can select any of your choice, any design of your choice. So that is what we have. So you can use this to create a report and then put in your data on this inside any of them: March, April, May, June. Then here is where we have shadings. You can, for your tables, here is border style. Any style you want for the border. First let's select the table, and then any style you want for the border, you select any style you select. So no, not that, not even, not this one, uh not that one. Let me, okay. Now let's get back to, not that, not that let's click on our table so as to bring back the table design. What I'm talking about is this one, the borders. So any of them here you can select. Then we have on the table, we also have the layout. We also have the layout. Here in the layout, you can merge, you can insert, you can delete. So here is to insert. Here is to insert. Here is to insert above. This is to insert below, left, right. Here is to merge, to split the cell, to split table. So any of the actions you want here, if you want to delete the table, you can come here to delete. If you want to put auto fit, you put. Now on this aspect here, if you double click here, you are selecting the entire column. You are selecting the entire row rather. This row, you are selecting it. Once you double click, look at how your cursor looks like. Your cursor, once is like this dark arrow on the edge of the line, you double click so as to select the entire row. So from that, you can increase the width of the row, each of them. Once you are clicking on it, if you want to give it a kind of header, you can increase the width, you can increase the height rather. Once you increase the height, you can come here and make the letters to be in the middle. To make the letters to be in the middle. To make the letters to be in the middle, that these are stuffs you can use this table layout to achieve. Even your cell margin, you can put up your top margin, your bottom margin, and the likes. So as regards to our insert, we don't want those design. You can come here, use your plain table, and off you go. Okay, that's on that table. We once use, okay, let me, I think if you want to delete the table, if you want to delete the entire table, look at this star here. You click on it. Once you click on it, see what however, if you want to insert picture, if you want to insert picture, we look at certain things. Let's just check this out now. There is something I want to show you so that if you understand what I'm trying to say, peradventure your Microsoft Office is doing that. Let's say we install this. You see it now. This is this picture, and we want to reduce it. You see where it's going. Now, if I want to move it, it's difficult for me. If I want to move it, it's not moving. It has positioned itself on that particular spot. So it becomes difficult most times in Microsoft Word when you are inserting picture in this manner, and you after inserting, you want to move it to a location you want. That will, most cases, will be very difficult for you to achieve. It will be very difficult for you to achieve. So what do? You remember You remember I talked about the last time you use text box. So if you want to move it, you take a text box. Once you take text box, you can now come here and control X. That's to cut. So you can come inside here and then you paste it. So while you now want to move it, you move the box. You see now, when you are moving the text box, you can move it and position it anywhere you want it to be. So that's one of the things we do when we use put it inside the text box and off we go. Okay, now still, and we have icons. I have shown us that 3D model. This is smart art. Now on the smart art is where we use smart art to prepare. Even in most cases we will see it in PowerPoint. When we get to Microsoft PowerPoint, we will see smart art where we use it to do some visual expression, visual display of certain stuff. Maybe we want to use a visual expression where someone might be talking about, let's say I have stuff like this and I select this, for example. Now this comes here. This comes here. I have to increase it. Now let's say here now I want to talk about maybe five components of Microsoft Word, or the 5 most important tabs in Microsoft Word. I can say on top, I say 5 most important tabs in Microsoft Word. I can come here and say home tab, and then come to this one, put insert tab, and then come to this one and say design tab and the likes. So instead of me trying to type it down and be this, I can just use these 5 most important tabs in Microsoft Word, and then I present it like this. If I make Word, Excel, or whatever, I can use this to prepare that. At a glance, people looks at it and they see 5 most important tabs in Microsoft Word. They can see the home, insert, the page layout, and the likes. And then here is where I can now give it different format I want in 3D. So when you see stuff like this, you see that you know that yes, these things are gotten from Microsoft Word. You can get it strictly from Microsoft Word. I think I like this. I can select this, and then if the color is not okay by me, I can change it to something like this or to a color like this, depending what I want, depending on the choice. So it can be something of this nature. So that's one of smart art. And note that I can add, like you see here now, I can add shape. If it's not 5, I can add it 6. I can make it 7. So depending on what I'm talking about and the number of items I want to emphasize on, that's I can add it there. I can also go to this place and say the bullet type and stuff like that. That's on that. Then I can also come to where is it, format here, to that shape here. I can even give it each of the shape. I can color them the way I want it to be. Each of them I can a bit more okay. Think let me this where I am. Okay, now if I select this, okay, I think All right. Yes. As you ask if there is a way you can access the previous class. Yes, every classes we have had on this Microsoft Word is on the channel. So you can access them, you can check, go through them, you see the Microsoft Word we have been we have been doing all that in this week. Our focus have been on Microsoft Word. By next week we move to the next topic in Microsoft Office class we are having. So check the YouTube, check the channel, you will see, check under the live or the videos, you check them there, you are going to see all the trainings we have had as regards to this 30 days proficiency in Microsoft Office. Okay, now this is what you can do, and here, since I selected this, I can decide to make it red. That's if I don't want that. You see how that is now. I can decide to make this one blue, my choice, if that is what I want. So it is you take time to play around with it. You take time to play around with it. Just take your time, play around with it, so that you do your design and stuff, get it set, and off you go. So these are the things you have access to. The same way, this is Word Art. You have access to Word Art, where if I select this now and then come here to select this, you see it changes the color of the write-up. Is the write-up that it changes the color. So if I select this, you see the stuff we have. So this is Word Art. I will talk more on that when we proceed. Then we have the shape fill, shape outline, which we have been dealing with in the past days of this course. Also, we have this text effect. In fact, I will have to take a bit time to talk about on this transform, what it helps us to achieve. So please, guys, go with me. I'm going to go over to that right away. Now, let's say I have this. Let's say I have this. You might have seen something like this in maybe in certificates and stuff like that. Let's say I have this. Now I draw this. I can come here and bring it up a bit. Now inside this I can say Control D to duplicate this guy, and then bring it out here, Now before I do that, apologies, before I do that, I have to make sure that this is a perfect circle. And for this to be a perfect circle, look at this place. The size of this and the size of this must be equal. So if I'm working with 2.6, let's say I'm working with 2.6, let me select that. So I delete that and make it 2.6, and come to this aspect, this one here, and then make it 2.6 as well. So that's a perfect circle for me. Now I can decide to change the color. To any color of my choice. Let me use this this side. I can decide to make it this color. Let me select this blue. Now once I do that, I can Control D now and bring it out. Now having done that, I use 2.6, so I can come here now to make this 2 and the other one 2. Okay, this is 2 point. I deleted the point and make it 2 and hit enter. So this becomes the color, the size of what I have now. I can come here and select this or select that Once I do that, I come and say no fill. Now I can take this, watch me closely please. I can, let me bring this down. I can come to this place and then say no, forgive me. Let's say I position it this way. Hold control and then select this. Now once I select it, can come here and say align center. Then once I put align center, then I will also come to this place and then say align middle. Now you see that they are now well centered. It's now well centered. Now because of this, the size between this and this is not okay by me, I will click out, select this one only, and then let's say I make it here 1.5, and then I come to this one and select 1.5 and hit enter. So once I do that, I can hold control, select this, do the same thing I did before. I will say align center, and then I will now select this one and then say align middle. So that gets the exact stuff. But this is not my point of emphasis. So I can click this, hold control and click this. Now I want to group these two shapes to be one, so that if I want to move it or reduce them, I reduce them together. So I right click. I will right click, having selected the two. This is the this is the first shape, this is the second one. So I have to hold my control, let me click out. I clicked on this small one, I hold control and then click on the big one. So that select the two of them, and then I right click, go to this pop-up menu will appear. I will go to group and then select group. So once I have done that, this will be the same shape. So I can move two of them anywhere I want in this place. However, this is not where my point of emphasis is. Where is my point of emphasis now? Let me type something in text box. Let me type something in text box. Now let's say I put here 2024 award ceremony, for example. Now let's say this is something I have here, and then I increase the size. Let's say I select I select Times New Roman. Now I will come to this place. I will say no field. Come to this place. I will say no outline. Now can bring it here. I can bring it here. Now, having done that, I can come to this place, this text effect, or let me make the color white. Then I can now come to this text effect here and come to transform. Now on this transform, how do I want it to be? I can now come here and say I want it to curve to have an arc like this, I select. So once I select, I can now begin to expand my stuff so as to get a certain curve, and then use this to do some positioning. So I will be using my keyboard to try to adjust and then increase this. So depending on where I want it to be, if I want it to be up like this, I can bring it from here, rotate it, and then curve this the more. So this is what we are working towards to get. Okay, now I can increase it from here. And then increase from here, and then rotate here. So that's we will be tweaking this until we get to an extent we want it to be. We will be tweaking it until we get to where we want it to be. I think okay. All right. Now this have given us something we want. So if you want to reduce it, depending on you, that becomes, if you click out, that gives you something like this, that you can write another one. You can write something else as well, and come to where is it, okay, this text, and then use this one as well under this transform. If you want to put it if you want to put it to curve upward, you use this one. If you want to put it to come downward, if you want to use it in order to cover stuff. So this is what that transforms helps us to achieve as regards to our work in Microsoft Word. So having explained that, we have to proceed to chart with a combination of Microsoft Excel. Screenshot is to take a screenshot of your Windows. This cross-reference comment, this is header and footer, where we talked about to use to design your letterhead, or to insert if you can decide to insert a page number on your header. You can decide to insert page number on your header. Let's say you select this and then insert whatever you want to insert on your header. So that's the aspect of the header. Then the footer as well. Here is the different page number. If you want to insert it at the top, here is the top, here is the middle top, here is on the right, here is left, middle, and the right. So this is you use to insert page number. If you are writing a book, you are writing an essay, an article, and so you want to number that you use. Okay, then here is one of the important aspects in Microsoft Word, where if you are a researcher, you are writing theses and stuff like that, and you want to add certain stuff like abstract, author, category, comments, different on your in your document. You want to add, let's say here you want to add the author. You can come here and put author. It will put the name of the person that is the owner of the Microsoft Office you are using, or you put category. So it's a very important part for those who write. Then here is word art. If you is another way we can put stuff. We can write something apart from Microsoft, apart from text box rather. Is another way we can put stuff. When you use that, you see it inside there. It's like a text box, but here whenever you type anything is just like the text format that came along with it. That's the what that gives us. So under insert, this is what word art gives us. Then the next thing is drop cap. So I need to select for drop cap. Let me increase this so that we can see it easily. Now under this, let me select this V. Let me select V. Now some of us might have read magazines, newspapers, and stuff like that. You see one big letter and the others are small. That's the aspect of drop cap. So if I select this now, you see what we have. If I select this dropped, you see what we have. If I select this, you see how it goes. So what this shows is that if we continue to type, if I select this one, watch, if I select it is on this space, then I can be typing. You see the words have gone below it has gone below the V. But if I have selected if I select this, you see it will not be below the V. It will be only V will stand one side, others will follow the other line down. So depending on the one you like, this is mostly the type you see in your newspapers, magazines, and newsletters and the like. So that's the function of drop cap. That's the function of drop cap. Then this is if you want to insert a signature in your work, this one has to do with some aspect of Microsoft Office signature. Now let me show us something that I can now put here. For example, let's say I put there Mr. Franklin. Then let's say I put here consultant. Then the email is with her. Then I now say okay. No, I need to do that on a separate place. Control V, Control Z rather. Let me do that here. So on the signature I can put here Mr. Mr. Franklin. Then here I can put here tech consultant. Let me just put a consultant, just that, and then I say okay. Now you see what that below here. It looks as if this is the signature and this is Mr. Franklin consultant. He's insert this, it insert the line. So that's what the signature is all about. Then if you want to insert date in your work, you can come here and insert your date. You select the format. If it's this, you select 7 June 2024 and you say okay, your date is there. Instead of trying to type it, that you insert the date in your document. Then here is important for people, for teachers, for persons who are writing books as regards to equations. This is important. Now look at this. If I say S2 plus 4x minus, let's say minus 12, for example. I'm just doing whatever. Now, I now select these two and make it superscript, and then I say equals to, and I say equals to 0. Let's say this is a quadratic equation, and I want to retype this quadratic equation, but now on a different way. I will come to this place and select equation. So once I select equation, different ways and we write the equation will come out. So inside here I will okay, now don't worry, I will attend to that. If you are in the group, I will answer this question. I will have to answer that question. Someone was asking downloading. I tried downloading the previous classes, but I couldn't. I couldn't only see save. Okay, it's all right. I will see how I will help you out on that. Okay, now what we have here is this. I want to type this you are seeing here so that you see the difference. So I want to type s square. What stuff here can give me s square is this. So I click on exponential x and select this. This is s square already, but I want to type it. We can see it. So once I select that, I come inside this box here. I type x and then move to the one on top and I put 2 on top. You see that now. I click out and then I click outside that 2 and put my plus. After I put my plus, I can now say 4x. I can now say 4x and minus, I think that's, yes, minus 12 equals 0. Now you look at this. If you look at this here, if you look at this and this, they are definitely not format here. For example, you want to type in sword, something like all these sword. You want to type all these short form stuff. You see this, there are templates you have already. But if you want to type in sword, maybe a root, 7th root of something and stuff like that, you can use any of these. You are typing something on the integral transforms, integrations, and all that integral transform limits, and that you can get them here. Fraction, you have the fractions here. or for those of us in mathematics, they divide the s, partial differential equations and the likes. So different fractions, you can get them here, different fractions. So if you can say x over y, then you click out and then minus whatever you are working with. That gives you a very easy way to work with. So with that, your preparation, if you are writing a book that involves equations and the likes, you have to make use of this aspect. Now also here is the symbols. Here are symbols, different symbols, like you in mathematical equation where you can say a plus or minus b in the infinity, the equals to, not equals to, and the likes. You see different symbols. All the same different symbols you use both in physics, like this is beta, gamma, partial differential, alpha, Fahrenheit, degree. You see them here. All these basic math symbols, they are all here. So if you want to go to the Greek letters, you can come here under the Greek letters. You select, you see the ones of Greek letters, both in their uppercase, in their lowercase. If you want the ones of operators, you come here, you select, you see different operators as the case may be, the common binary operators, the common relational operators, where you will be seeing equals to, not, greater than, less than, and the likes, less than or equal to, greater than or equals to. All those operators, you see them here. If those ones, all of other ones, the scripts, geometry, any of them, you see them here. So as you walk, you have to explore this depending on the kind of stuff you are doing. All right, now okay, now having explained that, let's quickly move to okay, let's quickly move to the design tab. Here you have your work you are working. You need to set up your work. You can theme any of these theme. This theme shows the way your work will be. Let me bring out a document here. Now under this document, now if I go to design and then come to theme, now you see, if I hover on any theme, you see that there is a change in how both the write-up, both the text, both the spacing, the way, different ways. You see this one, if you want it to be bold, you can use this theme depending on your choice. So different themes are available to you depending on the kind of work you are doing. If you're a script writer, you are writing script for movies and stuff, you can come here and select a theme suitable for the script you are writing. Okay, apart from that, also there is, here we call document headers. You can select any of these depending on your choice. So on your own, you feel free to walk around them. They are very easy to understand. Because of my time, I want to see how I can quickly cover all these tabs in color. It doesn't really have much effect. Here is the one that I have effect, the paragraph spacing. If you see, if you don't need any spacing, it's saying no paragraph space. You see how that is. If you want it compact, if you want it tight, if you want it to have more space. So these are different paragraph spacing that you can have access to. Then this these are effects you don't really. Now here is watermark. I think I have used this in the previous video. To insert, you use it to customize your work. If I'm preparing the materials for my trainings, maybe I'm having a train, I'm doing a training in human resources, project management, tech, access, and the likes, and I'm preparing a material. I want it to be customized. I can come here and put Soluma Consulting. Can come here and put Soluma Consulting, and then select the font style. Let's say Eras boot, and then the font color. Let's say I select this and then apply. You see that underneath. So let me remove semi-transparent so that you can see it more clearly. So you see that with this I can convert the work to PDF and then send it. It will not be easy for someone to edit. So that's what it does. So any color I prefer to use, I can select. Then this page border, if I want to add border to my page, I go to page border. Underneath it I can use box if I just want a straight line, and that box, if I want it, let's say in that box I want this color, and then I want it this size. You see what is happening here. If I say okay, now you see the border. You see the border here. That's the page border. That's the page border. Also, another thing one can do, if you don't want that, you can also come here and use any of these arts. You can come here and use any of these arts that is available at your disposal, depending on what you want. So let's say I select this one, and mind you, you can also increase it from here. Okay, I think that's the highest size for that. And then you say okay, that's this border, depending on what you are working on. All right, that is that on the design tab. We move to layout. Layout is where you set up your paper size, like we talked about earlier. You set up your paper size. If you are working on A4, you select A4. If you want your paper, this is portrait, already is on portrait. If you want it landscape, you select landscape. You see the changes. So let's bring it back to portrait. Then here is the margin. You might say I want it 0.5 margin. You see the word have gotten to the border. So we can bring it back to 1 each, so that the words will be within the border. Then on that I can, here is column. Most of us, when you look at newspapers, you see they have different columns. Here is where you can get it. So here I can put in five columns, and then the width and stuff like that. I say okay. Now you see these are in columns now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is another one here, 5. So that's 5 columns. So I can come back here, and the spacing, this spacing here you are seeing is the space between this and this. So if, like I'm seeing here, the space is much, the space I'm seeing here is much. So what I can do now is I will come to this spacing and reduce it. I can reduce it to say 1, and then say okay. Now you see what I have now. The words are now more compact. You see the words now are more compact. So to get it to be okay, I can say Ctrl A and come to my home. Whenever you type your work, always remember to justify. Then put it justify it. You see now the words are okay. You see your newspaper in this format, in these likes. That is the from the columns. So this is the stuff we already have on the home tab. Then we move to reference. We move to reference. Here in the reference, one of the major stuff here in the reference is that you can search what we have here now. You can search. This is one of the important aspects in this reference, to search concerning the what you are working on. Maybe you are working on a research, you are typing a proposal, you need to get more information about it. You can, instead of going to immediately go to Google or stuff like that, you can come here and click this search stuff. Is now it gives you some suggestions. Like you can see, it says verbatim translation, how to transcribe recording using Microsoft Word. So it's giving you this. If there are other things you want to search, let's say you want to search, maybe you put let's say video recording, and then video recording, so as to see if there is any file we have on ground as regards to that. So here is what you can search. It gives you results as regards to what you are working on. These are different results it generates, both from the website and both from the Microsoft Office. So you can from here get information on what you are working on. So that's a very important feature in Microsoft Word. That search button is a very important feature in Microsoft Word. So that you can also insert your bibliography. You can insert your citation as use any format you want to insert that on the references. That's the words very, very important on that. Here mailings, I will be exposing us effectively in mailings when we get to Microsoft Excel, how we can use mailings together with Excel to send out bulk emails. Then we come to review. Now under review, one of the things I love in review is that it can help me read what I have here. So if I select all, Control A, and I say read aloud, so if you pay attention, you will hear as he reads it.
Audio provides a powerful way to help you prove your point. When you click online video, you can paste in the embed code for the video you want to add. You can also type a keyword to search online for the video. Word provides header, footer, cover page, and text box designs that
spelling and grammar check. Says spelling and grammar check is complete. Now it brings up what we have, the word count, how many words we have, averages, sentence per paragraph. It puts up all the details about what we have there. So as for us to know the exact stuffs, we have passive sentences 0%. You have flesh stuff grade level, and that readability is reading is flesh reading is. So it's something that we can use to proofread our work in Microsoft Word, to check our work in Microsoft Word. Okay, now the next thing we move to is the view tab. The view tab, that's the next we go to. The view tab, our time is fast spent. I'm going to be rounding up on this tab. Thank God I've been able to get to this place. So in this view tab, in case your office doesn't have this ruler bar, some persons, I have seen a lot of students coming, sir, my office doesn't have this ruler bar, my office doesn't have the ruler bar. You can go to view, and then that is because this is not checked. As you can see, immediately I unchecked it now, the ruler bar in my Word document disappear. So there is nothing like ruler bar here now. So what that means is that this is not active. That's what it means. This is not active. So I can come here and activate the ruler bar if I want it. That's a very important aspect of Microsoft Word. This view rather. Another important aspect that you will be needing, most this don't touch here, this is read mode, print layout, which is the default setting your office will come with. Now another aspect in this view is this place, switch window. So from here, instead of me coming down to this place to be checking the one to select, I can just come here, click on it, check the ones I want. I can then move to the one I want. Let's say I move to this, I move to that. If I'm done using that, I can come to view again and then move to this one, depending on how I want to navigate. So this is a very important feature, especially for newbies, for new beginners, and that. Okay, now to wrap up tonight's section, I will be talking about this. In the first session, I showed us how you can create your own tab in Microsoft Word. Now the pattern is not just only Microsoft Word, it's also a Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Access, any Microsoft Office software application. I showed us how you can create your own tab. Like you can see, this has been here all through the class Soluma, but there is nothing underneath it. Why? Because I have not set it up. Here in home, we have a group called clipboard, we have a group called font, we have a group called paragraph, and the likes. Also in insert, we have groups called pages, tables, illustration, media, and the likes. The same way, I can set up this customized tab in that manner. And it's not just something you do for fun. It's something you plan with. Let's say you are working on a document, you are typing your work, you are typing your book, you are working on a project, and you don't want to be moving from home to insert, to design, to layout, in getting the things you need to effectively prepare the document. What that is that you can bring all those things under one tab, and then all of them will be here for you to have easy access to it. That's one of the things that I so much like about this. Having to, maybe you need under, let's say under this place, you need read loud so that they can read what you have and see whether stuff you need spelling and grammar check, and spelling and grammar. Here you need so this from here, and here you need something insert, you need under design, and then you need here. Instead of every now and then you'll be thinking, where is this thing? Is it under design? Is it under insert? Is it under mailing? What you can do is to bring them under one tab, customize your tab, bring it under one tab, and then off you go. So how do you do that? Let me wrap up this section with that, how you can be able to do that. So let's right click on this. Once we right click, we go to customize ribbon. Remember, this is what we call ribbon. We want to customize ribbon. So we go to customize ribbon and we select. This window appears now. Under that, we have a ribbon that we have already done. That's Soluma. So underneath it, we click, and then we have this data. Data, a group called data we have already created. So let's put things inside. Then here I will come to this place under popular commands and then tell Microsoft Word that I need all the commands in Microsoft Word. So I select all commands. So here now I'm having access to all the commands that I need. So I will be I think X. If I need now to be looking for the things that I might need, I think that spelling stuff is it grammar and spelling or spelling and grammar? Let me see. Okay, now yeah, this is it, spelling and grammar. Let's say I need it for my work. I add it under so I will add it under the data. Then let's say I need table. I press T, then it will bring me to table. Let's say I will need table. It brings me to table styles, table of contents. I click on this, click on tables and add, then table updates, add. Now also let's say I need shapes. I press here, I press let me click on X and then look for shapes. So it depends on what I want, and it depends on what you want as well. So that is shapes here, and then I add. Now this is data. For example, I need a new group. Apart from data, I can say new group. Under this new group, I can come here, right click, rename it. Let's say I call it designs, for example. I call it designs. That's under the design. Maybe I can come here, select shadow color, come here, select shadow option, I add, come here, select shape fill, add, select shape effect. This just for a quick one for this class. You can know the things you need and then put them inside one stuff. So I can select word art gallery, depending. So with this, if I'm okay with what I have now, if I'm okay, I can now come here and now say another thing before I say okay. Another thing is this: if I don't want this Soluma to be here after home, let's say I want it to be after review, for example, I can use this arrow. Now this arrow can bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Now it's after review. So I can say, you see, one side say okay, it will no longer be here after home, it will be after review. So I can say okay. Now that is it here. The Soluma is now here. I can, if I click on it, you see this. This is the group data, the line separated data. This is the group for design. I can add other things as the case may be, and that is the function which we can get from customized ribbon. We can also get it from quick access toolbar in the course of our work. So this is what we can achieve effect through step by step in CV writing. I will be using CV. I write CV for people. I write SOPs. I write statement of intent, writing samples, cover letters for the interviewer. So tomorrow I'm going to be ending the Microsoft Word section. So there are times you seek for a contract, they ask you to forward to send in your CV, send in your credentials. So you can also know how you can package effectively your CV. So it's on that note I will want to appreciate us for being present for tonight's class. Have a lovely night rest.